Good morning, YouTube. How you doing this morning? It's a beautiful day here in Michigan. It's super cold, so we're gonna try and get in the shop and get to working on Fox 1.
Not what I expected, honestly, not at all.
It's still cold. Got the heater on. Turned that on ahead of time a couple minutes ago, seeing if that would try to knock the chill out of here, but it's still really cold in here. It's like 16 degrees outside, so it's probably a little chillier than that in here. It's been sitting out all night in the cold. Got down to like -10 last night, so it was very cold last night. Yesterday was really cold too. It took a long time for it to warm up, but we're gonna get to it. Bolts for that. We'll hook up the lower control arms, try and get the shocks in and get the hoops made for that. So I can get the front end down and say, okay, front end is good, and then we can start working on the back end and pull the power plant out of that snowmobile, which you guys already seen the videos of me rebuilding it. So yeah, it kind of sucks. I got to tear it in, but that's the only motor I have that will fit inside this. So unless someone wants to throw me a free motor, we'll do it. As long as it's got good horsepower, we'll be fine. So yeah, let's get to it. Awesome. All right, so something cool happened. Accidentally, when I built these lower control arms using the spindles from this other upper control arm. No, this is the upper control arm. When I built the other one, they just happen to be the same size, so they fit right in the bracket. So all I have to do is basically level it all off and figure out where it's at, then cut these where they touch the frame, and weld the mounts right to the frame, and we're good to go. I don't even have to do much. They're already like connected. Just cut it, weld them up, and they both fit. So yeah, that's kind of cool. See, got to finish weld all this stuff up, but this turned out pretty decent, I think. Lower control arms, I got to figure out the mount for these. Turns out these are two different size holes. I thought they were the same size holes, but that lower one is bigger than this upper one. So I have a bolt that'll go through the lower, but it's a little loose, and I don't have one that goes through this tinier one, the smaller one. So I may have to make some sort of bushing to allow me to put a smaller bolt, like a hardened steel bolt in here, like a smaller one. That's pretty much all I would be able to think of is just build the bushing. That way I can put a small bolt in it. And this one I can make a bushing that would make it a little tighter. And I have the material over here, so I only have to make 4 of them. But I have this. This came off of a sink or something. Job we did, a sink. An old sink in like Detroit or something. So it's like, this is brass. Solid chunk of brass, I'm pretty sure. Could be. So yeah, I'll be able to make bushings out of this 4 without a problem. Well, 1, 3. So I may have to use 2 of these, but if these don't work, I got other things I could use to make just a bushing to get through it, make it a little tighter. So I also got these pieces here. These are solid pieces. Well, you know what I mean, relatively. It's already got a hole in it, so I could just do some work on that. These are solid. Oh no, they're not either. But well, they're pretty well solid. They've already been machined once, but I could make bushings out of those too if I wanted. But I'm thinking to put these somewhere. These are pretty sweet. But all right. Well, let's get to it.
masquerade. Watch as they fall away, faceless under faces made. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiplying power that I found in winter flowers. Turn back, I see rivers beyond the light, ancient roads in broken design, angels running through our minds. Look out, your city's built on marble floors, neon lights in the falling snow. Those nights back in Tokyo. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiplying power that I found in winter flowers. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young.
Alright, so that's all I had time for today. As you can see, we got the front control arms mounted. They look kind of cool. Still gotta build spindles for it, but they're all in on both sides. Good morning, YouTube. How you guys doing this morning? Alright, well, today we are going to tackle these front spindles. Here's the idea I've got so far. You want to take a look-see. It's nothing too fancy. It's just some L-channel, wheel bearing, L-channel, and a couple little reinforcement pieces. And that should be it. I just got to put the shock mount right there, but I have to do that after I connect the spindles. I'm going to end up reinforcing these areas too. I'm going to put metal across the bottom of this and metal up here on the top. Just leave a hole for the shock to go through. That way these control arms will be a little stronger, you know, if I put steel from here to here and just let the shock show through, and then the rest of this covered in steel. That'll just give this more rigidity. And the bottom one I can just cover it completely. So, yeah. Alright. Well, that's the plan. Let's get at it. Oh! Alright, so there's the first spindle built. Pretty rudimentary. Some angle iron put on the bearing and welded up. I got a bolt on the top one. The bottom one I'm just gonna weld that one because I mean that ball joint's pretty old and whatever. So that's probably gonna get welded. Top one I'll bolt on just in case, you know, I need to ever mess with it, whatever. So yeah, looks good. Turns good, spins good. So you know, it still spins. Yeah, all the turning is good. So yeah, heck yeah, let's get the other side done. cool. So got the spindles made and mounted up. They look pretty good. Gonna have to finish weld them up, but basically all I did was I just welded some L channel right to that bearing and hub assembly I had. It was fine. So and bolted right up. So tomorrow probably gonna have to build some new shock mounts. Get these shock mounts to come up. You know, build a hoop, probably a hoop from here over this, so we can mount a plate to this. So probably like a hoop that's really close to that, so we can mount it, and then we can run the straight ones here and probably run a mounting to each one of them as well, just to strengthen the shock area. And then put the steering on, and it should be golden in the front. So yeah, all right, sweet. So that's gonna be all for tonight. This is Aaron signing off, saying see you next time, and keep creating.